Last Thursday, a 36-year-old teacher named Adrian sat in a grocery store parking lot staring at his banking app and realized something that completely changed the way he thought about money. He wasn't actually checking his balance. He was checking how the number made him feel. And once that clicked, he couldn't stop noticing it everywhere. Because most people think wealth is built through investments, side hustles, or lucky opportunities. But the deeper truth is much quieter than that. Wealth usually starts with the private conversations happening inside your head when nobody else is around. The assumptions you make, the stories you repeat, the way you interpret setbacks, spending, and success. And here's the strange part. Most people never examine those thoughts at all. They just inherit them. From parents, from friends, from culture, from years of hearing things like money doesn't grow on trees, or people like us never get ahead. Those ideas settle into the background like invisible software. Then they quietly shape every financial decision you make afterward. That's why two people can earn the exact same income and end up in completely different financial situations 5 years later. Because money habits are rarely just about math. They're about meaning. My name is Nathan. I discovered these money secrets and now I'm sharing them here with you. Please show your support and subscribe. It really helps the channel and it means a lot. Think about it. Most adults already know the basics. Spend less than you earn. Save consistently. Invest early. Avoid high-interest debt. None of that is hidden information anymore. You've probably heard it dozens of times. So if the information is available, why do so many people still struggle financially? Because knowing what to do and consistently doing it are completely different things, and the gap between those two worlds is usually psychological. That's the part nobody teaches. We get endless advice about budgeting apps and investing strategies, but almost nobody asks a more important question. What kind of thinking produces good financial decisions in the first place? It's like trying to build a skyscraper on top of cracked concrete. The tools don't matter if the foundation underneath them keeps collapsing. Now here's where this gets interesting. Imagine two coworkers both receive a surprise work bonus. Same paycheck, same amount, same circumstances. One person immediately thinks, I've earned this. I should finally treat myself. The other person thinks, how can I use this to improve my future? Neither response sounds dramatic, but over time, those thought patterns create completely different lives. One person sees money mainly as emotional relief, the other sees money as leverage, and that distinction compounds, not just financially, mentally, because every financial decision reinforces the identity underneath it. Here's another example. A guy named Marcus used to panic every time an unexpected expense appeared. Car repair, medical bill, higher rent, anything unpredictable instantly made him anxious. Not because he was irresponsible, because uncertainty itself terrified him. And once he started paying attention, he realized something important. His stress wasn't actually coming from the expense. It came from the story he attached to it. He interpreted every surprise as proof he was failing. That mindset kept him reactive. But eventually, Marcus changed one small habit. Instead of asking, why does this always happen to me? He started asking, how do I become harder to break? That single shift changed the way he approached money. He stopped chasing quick fixes, started building buffers. Smaller expenses bothered him less because he wasn't emotionally collapsing every time life became unpredictable. Financially secure people usually aren't calmer because life is easier for them. They're calmer because they've built systems that make uncertainty less dangerous. And that leads to one of the biggest mindset shifts in wealth building. People who improve financially over time tend to think in probabilities instead of guarantees. Most people want certainty before they act. They want the perfect investment, the perfect business idea, the perfect timing. But life rarely works like that. Wealthy thinkers usually focus more on positioning than predicting. They don't need to know exactly what'll happen next year. They just want to improve the odds that future opportunities work in their favor. That means building savings, learning useful skills, creating flexibility, developing relationships, investing steadily. Small advantages stacked repeatedly over time, not dramatic overnight wins. And honestly, this is where most people get trapped. They underestimate small decisions because they're obsessed with giant transformations. But wealth almost never arrives in one explosive moment. It grows quietly, almost invisibly, like roots underground before a tree finally breaks through the surface. A woman named Talia discovered this accidentally. For years, she thought financial progress required huge sacrifices and massive income increases. But one day she started tracking where her money actually went. Not to judge herself, just to observe. And what she found surprised her. Tiny emotional spending patterns were quietly draining her. Ordering food because she felt exhausted. Online shopping because she felt stressed. Subscriptions she forgot existed. Random purchases made out of boredom instead of need. None of those decisions seemed important individually. Together, they were enormous. And this is where things started changing. Instead of trying to become perfect overnight, Talia focused on awareness first, not restriction. Awareness. She'd pause before spending and ask herself one simple question. What feeling am I trying to buy right now? That question changed everything. Because sometimes she wasn't buying products at all. She was buying comfort, control, distraction, validation. And once she saw that clearly, many purchases instantly lost their power. Now, obviously, this doesn't mean every purchase needs to be optimized. That's not the goal. The goal isn't becoming some robotic minimalist who never enjoys life. The goal is making decisions consciously instead of automatically. There's a massive difference between intentional spending and emotional leakage. And once you notice that difference, you start seeing money differently altogether. Here's another pattern financially healthy people often share. They respect small amounts of money, not because they're cheap, because they understand repetition. Someone who ignores a forgotten $15 subscription usually isn't losing because of the $15 itself. They're losing because they stopped paying attention. And attention matters. Your brain learns through patterns. If you practice awareness with small decisions, your brain carries that behavior into bigger decisions later. That's why financial discipline isn't really built during huge moments. It's built during ordinary Tuesday afternoons when nobody's watching. Now let's talk about something deeper. Most money stress isn't actually about money. It's about uncertainty. People assume they'll finally relax once they hit a certain income level. But plenty of high earners are still anxious constantly, because anxiety follows unexamined thought patterns everywhere. If someone believes security always sits just beyond the next paycheck, promotion, or investment, they'll keep chasing forever. That finish line keeps moving. But people with healthier financial psychology usually focus less on chasing and more on resilience. They know life will eventually surprise them. The economy changes, jobs change, relationships change, unexpected things happen. So instead of demanding total control, they prepare for flexibility. That's a very different mindset. And honestly, it creates a very different emotional experience around money. Reactive financial decisions are usually driven by urgency and fear. Responsive financial decisions come from awareness and patience. Same world, different internal system. Now, maybe you're listening to this and realizing some of these patterns sound familiar. That's good. Awareness is where change begins. Not shame, not guilt. Awareness. Because the moment you notice a pattern, you finally gain the ability to interrupt it. That's powerful. And it doesn't require some giant life overhaul tomorrow morning. It starts small. Maybe you pause before your next impulse purchase. Maybe you finally review your subscriptions. Maybe you start saving a tiny percentage automatically every month. Maybe you simply stop telling yourself you're bad with money, because those identities become self-fulfilling over time. The stories you repeat matter a lot. Here's the truth nobody really talks about. Building wealth is mostly invisible while it's happening. It looks boring at first. Small investments, tiny habits, repeated decisions. But eventually, those invisible patterns become visible results. And by the time most people notice someone's financial success, the mindset underneath it has usually been developing quietly for years. That's why this matters so much. Because your financial future is shaped less by one giant decision and more by thousands of tiny interpretations happening every day inside your own mind. One pause before spending, one smarter question, one moment where you choose awareness instead of autopilot. That's how change starts. Slowly, quietly, then all at once. If this shifted the way you think about money even a little, subscribe, because there's a lot more about wealth psychology most people never hear until it's far too late.